Hello everyone, it's Pam here with Tattered Paper and Lace, and I wanted to come on today and show you some ideas. First off, you'll see before you, I made these three items, and this I made after watching the tutorial from Treasure Books. She had made ribbon bookmarks using these findings. I have put a little gem clip on the end of this one, but using these findings that you use at the end of ribbons to make like chokers and things like that. And so she had used them on ribbon and trims to put at the end of each one, and then added a charm. So I am making a Christmas journal, and this trim worked beautifully. It is wider than the finding, so I just had to make a little pleat in each end and stitch across it, and then just clamp that on, and then I'd put a little jingle bell at the end of each one. So that was a Treasure Book. The Treasure Books, I believe is her name, her YouTube name. She does some marvelous things, so be sure to go there and take a look. But doing this and watching that reminded me that back in several years ago, I believe it was in 2018, when I went back and researched when I had tried something similar, and that is what these are. These two I made back in 2018. You see, I haven't used them yet. I tried doing this video before this one and made this one, and it just was a little wonky, which I like. It's fine because it's, you know, it's its own personality. But I wanted to come on and try another one because I had another idea as far as how you could put it together that might make it a little bit easier. I'm going to lower you down just a bit and show you how you make these, which I used this in a journal back in 2018, which was one of the first journals that I sold. And I put this attached to a pocket in that journal. I also had fastened a gem clip to the back of it and used it. And then I also had attached it to a collaged envelope. So you can do lots of embellishing ideas with this. So let me lay those up there and let me show you what I have chosen today. 3 or 4 pieces of lace, fabric, ribbon, whatever, trim, whatever you want to use. So my first layer here is going to be this is a very, very, very old piece of fabric from an embroidered dresser scarf. And I'm going to use that as my first layer. I like to use a fabric as the first layer just because it gives the whole thing a little more stability. So this has got a little piece of fabric, and this one has a piece of burlap with lace on it. And this one was not as the heavy fabric, it was this sheer fabric. This was very slick, so it was hard to get it in the clasp. So I chose this, and then for some contrast, I'm using a white crocheted thread, and it is lace, and it is better to have a lace that is, or I think it's better, doesn't really matter, but I think it's better to have a lace that is the same on both sides. So I'm going to lay that on there, and I'm going to shift it just a little bit, and you can either even shift it over just a little bit or just angle it a little bit. And then for, again, a different kind of contrast, I'm going to use this tape measure ribbon. It is a twill, so it is a fabric kind. And then I'm just going to lay that on top of that. And so you can see the layers. And then I have this little dangle lace that I will lay on top of that. Now, me having my arthritic fingers as I do, I decided, and they're worse than they were 18 years, I mean, in 2018, where I made these first two here. I didn't have to do this, but I have since broke my finger, and, you know, so you get old and that's what happens. Anyway, so what I want to do now is I just use, and this is the first time I'm trying this. I don't know if it'll work. I think it will, though. I am going to take my art glitter glue, and I'm just going to run a little tiny bead right across each one, and then I'm going to lay this on top like I want it to be. Excuse me. Another little bead. I'm going to lay this one across like I want it to be, and then a little bit of glue, and lay this one across where I want it to be, so I don't have to try to hold all those in place while I'm trying to put this claw thing on. So we'll do that, and I think that'll work. I use art glitter glue for almost everything, even fabrics. There's very few fabrics I have found that it will not adhere. And so I use it for everything. I'm not a fan of Fabri-Tac because mine never does right, and I cannot stand the bubbles coming out, and that drives me crazy. Now it doesn't seem to want to hold that. I say that, and then it doesn't seem to want to hold this last piece, but that's okay. Everything else is together. Well, maybe not. Okay. Back up. See, I'm not sure. I told you I wasn't sure this would work. Now, these two are holding together well. If it has any, but those other two things are cotton, and these are not, so that might be the reason that that's not wanting to hold. Or I didn't let it dry enough. Could be that too. I'm known for not letting it dry quick, you know, leaving it alone until it dries anything. That's just me. I have no patience. Okay, so you just put the pieces together that you want to put together, and 3 or 4 is enough, I think, but that just kind of holds that together. I have put on the little area right there, I've put this little tiny Tim Holtz paper clip on there because I need something to hold to, because my little fingers just don't want to hold on to that little clamp all by itself. So that makes it real easy. This is now sticking together. I just didn't let it dry. And so now all I do is you just slide this on, and I hold it with this finger, and I just pinch one side closed with my pliers, and then I turn it over and I'll pinch the other side closed with my pliers, and then I just take the whole thing in the plier and pinch it really good. And there you have what I call a lace sample. And I just call it a lace sample, even though it has fabric and whatever, because on other ones that I had used in the book I was talking about, it had some vellum sayings, and I put the piece of vellum on top, so it actually had paper as well. But I just, for the sake of a name to use, I call them lace samples. So I use that. You can make this be longer and also make it be a bookmark. This could be a bookmark even this short, but you can make a longer one like this, and layering it with several pieces. And I think Dee at the Paper Drawer did that in her Halloween journal with, you know, Halloween colored ribbons. And you could just put a whole bunch of those together and leave them loose as well. I kind of like the looseness of this. Use it as a bookmark as well, which I think is what she did in her Halloween journal. So you can do that however you want, use whatever you want. And like you see here, I've used various different things. I'm going to take this one though, and I haven't planned this so much, but I'm going to take this and show you how to add a paper clip to it. So I'm just going to find me some cardstock here. This is a good piece. And so what I want to do is to add the paper clip is I want to cut a, to do the paper clip, you go ahead and clamp all the pieces of your textile together. So then I'm going to cut a piece of card that is approximately the size of my last piece. So let's see, I'll just kind of mark it with a pencil just to give me an idea of how long that needs to be. Cut that with my scissors. And then I need to cut another one that same size, or thereabout. I'm not measuring. Normally I would measure. I am the OCD girl, but not today. Okay, and then we'll cut off this here. So what you do with this is I take my paper clip and clip it onto the piece of paper. I was out of frame. I'm so sorry. And then I take this piece and cover it. Okay, so what you have here is you have, when you get this all put together, you have this piece, and that's where your gem clip will clip, and it won't snag. So I just put your gem clip, and I'm using a big one, and this is happens to be a gold one. Let's see if I can get the light over here. Maybe not. Okay, so then I just put glue all over everything, just like this, just with the gem clip on there, all around it. I will do it on top of the gem clip, under the gem clip. You just want it all over because you're going to glue it in there and you don't want it to come out. So then we'll put some on top. Like I said, I use art glitter glue for everything because I love that glue. Okay, so we do that, and then we lay this one on top. So all you see is the little edge of the gem clip there. And then I squish it all in. I use a Kleenex to wipe away any excess glues that I have when I'm doing things. So we'll do that with this. And you try to get that in the center as much as you can. Not in frame, sorry. I'm new to this. Okay, so that's going to be in there pretty well. And it's not going to come out, I don't believe. So then what I will do is I will take this, and you want to make sure that the long piece of your gem clip, you know, when you do a gem clip, you just look at a gem clip. Got another one here. It has the long end and the short end. Okay, you want the short end to be the one that's showing and the long end inside, because that's how you put a gem clip on something. You know, it's made so you can push the long against the paper and do it in. So you want to be able to do that same thing. So you put the long end of the gem clip inside your paper. And then I will glue this. I will glue this back piece right here onto the paper, just like that. And that will, you leave that, the little clamp thing hanging up just a little bit. And so your gem clip is completely behind your little finding there. And I will glue it down just like that. I'm going to make it just a tiny bit shorter, a tiny bit narrower, just because I don't really want the paper part to show as much. So I'm just going to trim it up just tiny little bit so that it is not any bigger than my bottom piece. Okay. So now I will just take this and I will glue all over this with my art glitter glue. Just like that. I didn't mean to get it on that part. It doesn't really matter, but, and then just sit this on top. So I'm going to glue that whole back piece of fabric part onto this piece of card, just like that. Okay, and that way you can then use this as a gem clip, just like that. So you have a pocket, or you just want to gem clip it to the top of a page, or whatever. So if you are planning on doing this, something more sturdy in your first piece of fabric or lace or whatever you lay down, if it's something sturdier, it's better. This one would work as well. I've done it with something that was this soft, but this would not be something, I would not make a gem clip out of this one. So you can do anything. It could be ribbon. It could be, you can make them be really wonky and all, not as even in line as those are. And, it makes a nice little embellishment. So I wanted to show that to you, and wanted to thank Natasha at Treasure Books, because she reminded me that I had done something similar, and I had not even thought about it. And I hadn't thought about doing a ribbon with one on either end. You also could put, your pearl or whatever, any kind of little charm at the top of this. I have also you could put just a bead on this little gem clip, the little tiny seed bead kind of beads. And I like that if you're going to put it inside the book, because it will help it lay flatter, because it can lay over to the side right there, and your beads would be right here. A ball pen works nicely for that same purpose. So if you're using it inside your journal, you might want to think about that, because whatever you do there is going to add a little bit of bulk. And I know we're always thinking about the bulk of something. So I wanted to come in and show you that. Again, I think that the gem clip idea is fun, and that's how you do those. So I thank you for watching that, but now I also wanted to shout out to Dee at the Paper Drawer. I had gotten this journal from her, and I wanted to show, I'm going to have to raise you up a little bit now, and I wanted to show this journal. I have a couple of others that I will show too, not on this video, but at a later date. But this is a Kantha not Acantha, it's Kantha, K-A-N-T-H-A, I think, Kantha quilt fabric. And she has just made a journal, and I believe this was her first fabric covered one. I'm not sure, but I think it was. But it is basically a naked journal. I'm going to use it for collage, and I just kind of wanted to show it to you. Now, see, I won't collage on this because that's already collaged so beautifully that it'll just be part of her artwork in my journal here with my collages. So she's used a lot of Tim Holtz, some vellum. Here is some, I believe that's Arabic paper. Just all different kinds. Coffee dyed paper. Left some white. This is a receipt here. And ledger paper. Children's book pages. I believe that's from a bag from a restaurant. Cards. Just all sorts of fun. Here's a security envelope pocket. But just all kinds of fun things in it. And I loved the fabric. And I loved the mix of things inside. And so I thought, I'm just going to get this one because this is Dee's work. Plus, I like everything that's in it, and I want to use it as a collage. I like that. That looks nice. So I wanted to show this to you. She is having a giveaway right now that you might want to run over to her channel and subscribe, because she is giving away to everyone who makes a comment on that video. I'll try to link it below. She's giving everyone a little gift if you subscribe and comment. So this is a bird from a bird book. This looks like it's from a botanical book. This is a note card, dictionary page, greeting card kind of card, typewriter instruction book, shorthand paper, instruction book, coloring book page, that looks like. So anyway, just fun stuff. And I think this is handmade paper that her sister made. Music paper, graph paper. This is a paper bag paper. Yeah, it's just the paper part of a paper bag. Just the, cut it apart. Made it into a page, which is a cute idea. Book page, maps, music, coloring book, everything. It's wonderful. I love it. I just love the whole mix of things. So I wanted to show that to you. She's included these little things in here. And it didn't have a closure. It will eventually need one when I start putting my collages in there. So I had found this piece that I like with it that I tie around it. And this is from those Five Below quilts that people were buying and taking apart. So there is that. And then I wanted to show you her giveaway. She has made these envelopes, which are absolutely fantastic, and everyone will get one. If you go and subscribe and leave a comment, you will get one of these envelopes. So she is giving one to everyone. Has a little bit of ephemera. It has some vintage music paper in there, and 3 pieces of ephemera. And they'll be all different. They're all, and this one doesn't have any ephemera in it. I just have the envelope. But this is how it will come to you. And so go and subscribe to the paper drawer. Comment on this video, which I will try to link below, where she is showing this. And go be creative, because this will help. I'm going to use this for ephemera. I think she calls it an ephemera folder, but I have a box that they will fit in just beautifully, and then I can label what pieces of ephemera it is, if it's advertising, if it's, if it's ladies on it, if it's whatever it might be, florals, whatever, so that you can find things easier. I have found that to help my bookmaking process. I also wanted to say that I have 101 subscribers myself. I am so excited. I have only been doing this 1 month, and I am so excited to have that many subscribers. So thank you so much for coming to subscribe. I hope you enjoy my videos. I hope you will continue to watch and share my video with your friends. I have other ideas that I will be passing along. So if you will hit the bell, subscribe, hit the bell, I would appreciate it so very much. And I will see you the next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.